The NYPD continues to dominate headlines in a negative way, and this time it has to do with a Zumba studio. Why? Okay, turns out that one official in the NYPD spent $60,000 to build a Zumba studio in an older building that was previously used for printing, which sounds strange. Now, the person in question here is Deputy Commissioner of Personnel Michael Julian. He was actually placed in that very high position within the NYPD by Bill Bratton, okay? And apparently Bill Bratton was not amused by this waste of resources. So Julian actually took Bill Bratton to this new and improved Zumba studio and showed it to him, thinking that he was going to be excited about it. And Bill Bratton was like, "You're a fucking idiot," okay? He didn't say so in those words, but that was what was implied. Now, apparently to set up the Latin dance-inspired fitness studio, Julian had workers install workout mats and flat-screen TVs, because you can't do Zumba without the flat-screen TVs. In January, though, Julian did make headlines because he suggested arming cops with breath mints to combat cursing. So he's concerned about the dirty mouths of cops, and had 10,000 individually wrapped candies delivered to headquarters so they can take the mints instead of curse. Of course, none of the mints were actually eaten. And then also he suggested that officers spray protesters who link arms with baby oil to slide them apart.
I mean, what? You can't write this stuff. I mean, we have a cop-led gang in Chicago, which sounds like the plotline to like a Martin Scorsese film, right? And then over here, the NYPD is everyone's doing Zumba, which listen, I was surprised. I'm not trying to stereotype here, but that's the chosen workout that they decided that officers need. And I mean, who knew that Zumba and breath mints and baby oil are the trifecta of an effective police force?
It sounded like a first date to me, because if you've ever seen the Zumba instructors, a lot of them are hot.
Yes,
you need some baby oil, get yourself a little mint so you can, you know. I'm like, what are you doing? Are we training them to protect and serve, or to get a date?
Or to protect and swerve.
What? I like that.
Yes.
I mean, this is just so quirky, which part of me kind of likes the idea that the NYPD is looking outside of the box for other ways to serve and protect, swerve and protect.
Swerve and protect.
But this is so nonsensical and ridiculous that you're like, I don't even understand how this man assumed power in the first place.
It's kind of incredible. Bill Bratton's the person who put him in charge to begin with. And so I'm sure he regretted that decision. And, you know, Julian is no longer serving on that, you know, in that high position within the NYPD. But I mean, when you think about the grand scheme of things and you consider the amount of money that the NYPD got from banks during the Occupy protests, I mean, $60,000 is really, boom, a drop in the bucket for them.
Yes.
I'm not saying that this is okay. It's not okay. They should have spent the resources on something else, especially when you consider that, you know, the police department is not a private entity. They're paid by tax dollars, and in some cases through donations from bankers who want them to crack down on protesters. But nonetheless, I mean, they should be using this for better training. That way they don't have cases involving people like Eric Garner dying from a chokehold.
Oh, completely. And you know, when I saw Zumba, of course that's ridiculous. But if they want to do something to get the officers, you know, working out, I'm not opposed to that. Like, if there's some better training facility they could have thought of, but Zumba, mints, and baby oil?
I know.